Buyers are confused. They're confused, they're overwhelmed. And when you're confused and overwhelmed, what do? You drag your feet. You don't make decisions.
We can no longer just send them a Collab Center link that just sends them listings and go, hey, do you like this one? Do you like this one? But there's no communication. All right, y'all, welcome back to this episode. Hopefully you watched the previous one where we broke down the Redfin Compass kind of stuff going on and how that's going to impact you as agents. So in this video, Wayne and I are going to brain dump on you on what you need to be doing to prepare yourself to still see all these listings that come on so you can feed them to your seller. So, or to your buyers, excuse me.
And here's how you're going to help your buyers right now. The biggest thing that most agents need to acknowledge is we are not in 2020, 2021, where it's like, this is a totally different world. And most agents right now are getting their teeth kicked in because they're still working with buyers like they did 3, 4, 5 years ago, right? And you see this because they're like, hey, we'll look at as many houses as you want. Oh, you want to look over here? Like, they're not leading and guiding their buyers. And this is the moment where you need to go back to 10 years ago when we actually had to sit down with our buyers and do a great buyer consultation. Yep. Here's what's happening in the market. What are your 5 musts, right? There are no perfect homes. Here's the process. We're going to look at this many. You're probably going to pick one of the first 3 we look at because I'm really good at my job, right? And if you're looking at 8 houses, you're going to have a come to Jesus meeting, which is like, what am I missing the mark on? Right now, what I see is so many agents are showing 20 homes, 30 homes, getting dragged from Nantucket to freaking the Cape. Like, they're all over the place because they're not leading their buyers well. They're not doing great buyer presentations. They're not doing great education. And right now, with everything that's happening in the world, buyers are confused. They're confused. They're overwhelmed. And when you're confused or overwhelmed, what do? You drag your feet. You don't make decisions. You go, let's just look. Let's just keep looking, right? Because it's what's going on in your head. So I see this so much right now that buyer agents or agents that are working with buyers are getting their teeth kicked in right now so bad. And it is not an advantage to your buyer. Your buyer is not having a better experience because you showed them 25 houses instead of 8. They're having a worse experience. So that's the first piece. Second piece is, Brad, give us some tools, because now we got private listings and secret listings and the ones that are in the shack listings coming. I mean, I don't know where all the listings are, right? Like, we got them all over the place. Yeah. It's going to get weird. It'll probably figure us out. But like, what do buyers agents do right now when they got to look 48 places or figure out what's actually on the market?
Yeah. So a couple of things. I think, one, if you're in some of these markets that are saturated with company brands, Compass brands, some are 60% market share of Compass brands, right? So that means if they all do these coming soon listings that go to Redfin, you will be missing out, right? You're not going to see them for a while. And then Remax and Keller Williams and United put theirs on Zillow, you're missing out. And then EXP puts theirs on Realtor and Homes.com, you're missing out. So now what are we doing? We can no longer just send them a Collab Center link that just sends them listings and go, hey, do you like this one? Do you like this one? But there's no communication. So first, you need to get an interactive communication tool for your buyers. Now, we use HomeStack. It's a built-in app that searches houses and they can like them and love them. I think you need to have conversations with people. Second, you've got to figure out how to mine these websites for new listings, because your buyer will see them. Your buyer has registered on Zillow. Zillow will send them the coming soon listing because it's on their site. You will not know about it. And so why are you going to get paid if you don't know about listings coming on the market? So how are we going to do it?
And now the buyers, and we had a hard time with this before, but at least the buyers knew everything was pretty much in one place. Right. So now you got your buyers who are already being bombarded because that lead got sold 4 times. Now your buyers are on 6 different platforms. That lead has now been sold 25 times. And they're bombarded by everything, and you can't rightfully look them in the eye and say, I sent you everything, because you don't even know about it. You can't even find everything.
Yeah. So one idea I've got for you is go on all those portals and sign up as a customer and have your search criteria for your market, right? Just have your search criteria as big or as little as you want. So as those new ones come out and they blast them to the consumer, you're getting alerted. The other thing I would say is Wayne and I are going to have a mutual friend put together a checklist on how to build out either a chatbot or a Cloudbot or whatever to hopefully go and scrub these for you daily. We're still trying to put that together. So that's going to be one where it can come back and say, hey, find me listings on these 7 websites that have this characteristic, blah, blah, blah. And it maybe will pull a list for you.
Yeah. Hey, really quick, you know how YouTube works. Like and subscribe so we know this is working and it keeps pushing the content out.
Yeah, this is what we do as a passion project. Wayne got his own coaching, I got my real estate, but we've come together because we want y'all to learn from all our scars and mistakes. So that like and subscribe means the world to us because it means you care and it means we can keep giving, and also it makes us look cool with my mom.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
The
and
third
I
one
think
is
that's eventually where it's gonna go is, like, you're gonna eventually have, like, your Cloudbot, and every time you have a new buyer, right, you put that in there, the Cloudbot every single day goes, scrubs, 6, 7 different websites, hopefully compiles those and sends you one email every morning that you're able to kinda go through and then share.
yeah, and I would even have it update at noon and then 5 o'clock, right? Because things are getting listed all times of the day.
Yeah.
The other one is old school, y'all. If you have not been playing nice in your sandbox, if you have not been showing up to association meetings or MLS meetings or get-togethers or happy hours, you need to, because now we're going to start seeing those text circles again, where it's like, hey, I got this coming up, and it's only going to go to 20 people. Like, you need to be in those circles. You have to be in the know of what's going on, especially in your local area.
So, and the MLS is just, why is the MLS not just rolling out a coming soon feature that everybody just puts it on there?
So some
that
do.
only
Some,
agents can see.
yeah. So some MLSs allow that. They do. Some you can have it off. Who was I talking to the other day? There is one that you can hold it. You can pre-market. I think it's Canopy, which is a large MLS for North Carolina, part of South Carolina. And I think I'm right. And I'm a member. I probably should look it up. Like, I think you can pre-market for like 2 weeks or coming soon for 2 weeks. But that doesn't, usually when you do coming soon, it doesn't push to the portals, right? It's an internal thing. So they can. And that's what I've been discussing with our local association, some other association leaders, is like, guys, you need to look at doing this, because if you don't, you're going to die. And they're like, but that's not how the MLS works. I'm like, then you will die.
Yeah. Well, and at least if it could stay internal and only agents can see it, at least agents could see everything at that point. That would seem to make more sense. And then, the guys that work go do the thing and increase their stock values. But yeah, at least that would allow us to serve the consumer. So that would make the most sense to me.
Yeah. And the last idea I've got for you is another old school. Y'all need to have a board or a updated spreadsheet inside your company that shows every listing that's coming. I mean, put your name on it, put the address on it, put the specs in there. That way you can walk in and be like, that's coming. That's going to give you an advantage over somebody else outside your office. And you may not be one of the companies that are on these big portals. So you've got to figure out how to fight your way through it. And full circle moment, though, go back to what Wayne said. Communicate, tell them, explain to them, let them know, and then they will understand. And they won't be mad at you, but you're going to have to do some work now, y'all.
Yeah. Well, and I think that this is where I would run to the relationship. Make sure you're doing a great buyer presentation beginning. Make sure your clients are very clear on what they must have in a house, very clear on all that. And then if they're getting too lost in the weeds, having those come to Jesus moments, right? Hey, we've looked at 10 homes. Feels like I might be missing something. Let's go back and relook at this list. Or like you said you would only buy a house. One of our top thoughts was a big backyard. This one doesn't even have a backyard. Do we need to sit down and adjust our list, or do we need to take this list off of the ones we're going to go look at? Like, that kind of leadership is what agents need to get great at right now. And I mean, I'll say this too, is like your time is valuable. So for most of you, you need to spend a ton of time reaching out, having the conversations, picking up the phone. And if you need to get a Cloudbot, right? If you need, I mean, obviously, I'm a big fan of virtual assistants. So if you need to get a virtual assistant that literally sits there every day and is scraping these websites, but you do, I guess what I'm trying to say in a long roundabout way, don't use this shift as an excuse to sit behind your computer all day long and just check 48 websites. Okay. That is the worst use of your time. You need to know the information. Your buyers need to know the information, but you sitting there and justifying 8 hours of staring at 60 different websites is just a horrendous use of your time and really an unleveraged position. So go get leverage on some level, especially for the next 12 months. So I figure this out, and it's probably a Cloudbot or a virtual assistant would be my guess, or it's somebody that wants to get into real estate and you go, hey, you want to know what that's like? Cool. You're now a research assistant for 4 hours a day. Good luck.
Yeah. So if y'all got other ideas, hit them in the comments. We'd love to hear them. We want to know what your thoughts are, what you're thinking. This is sort of a controversial topic. And like Wayne said, it's probably going to be a big old bowl of nothing here in a couple of months, or we may just get used to it like everything else. So those are 5 ways that we think that you can use leverage and technology to up your game during this time of coming soons, or where the hell, pre-coming soon, not yet on the markets, but on the market, because we just want to say it's something different than on the market.
Sounds so bad. Our poor audience. Hey, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button so you get to hear more of Brad's ridiculous strings of conversations that I'm pretty sure we're not allowed to say on the internet. But seriously, like and subscribe. It gives us motivation, helps us know you're here, and helps the algorithm. So thank you for doing that.
Hey, real quick, if you're liking this content, imagine having a full day immersed with people that are on this like us, that are learning from each other.
Man, we do these kind of events, these intensive, a couple times a year. And if you know that you are the smartest person in the room and you need to get in some other rooms, this is the place to be, right? So apply, send us a message right now. We'll send you the application link and see if you are the right fit to be in one of the rooms.